So we are a British couple that met 2 years ago in Australia, and today we're going to be continuing our series of taking you through everywhere we've been and giving you our opinion and our advice on that place.
So last video we spoke about Byron Bay, and now we're moving slightly up the east coast to the Gold Coast, which is known for its long beaches and especially its beach called Surfers Paradise.
So the Gold Coast is a region which is just south of Brisbane in Australia. So it's the place that you see in pictures of Australia, of all the skyscrapers lining the beachfront. It does look pretty cool.
It's actually, before I came to Australia and I was like manifesting that I'm gonna move to Australia, yeah. I set my home screen picture as the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it does look pretty crazy.
Yeah, and if you've ever watched I'm a Celebrity, that's the big building that they do the high walk off. Fun fact for you all, the reason that they call it the Gold Coast is because of the large supplies of market gold that existed there. So that's the reason why it got its name.
So now we're going to talk about our experience on the Gold Coast. So the Gold Coast was the second place that I went to in Australia. I flew there from Sydney and I spent around about 3 days on the Gold Coast. I was staying in Surfers Paradise. That's where I was based, and I had a look along the coast and some of the beaches and stuff. But yeah, only about 3 days.
I think that's all you need, unless you are doing a holiday there.
We'll come on to our opinions.
I did the same as Luke. I got the Premier bus up there on my East Coast itinerary, and we stayed in Surfers Paradise, and we did about 3 days there. It actually rained every single day I was there. And to be honest, because we'd done Sydney and then Byron Bay, like we did non-stop travelling, I was feeling really run down and tired, so we just actually used that time just to reset and chill out a little bit. I think if it was sunnier and hotter, then it would have looked and felt a bit different.
I was there in the sun.
Oh, was you?
Yeah.
I thought it would look really beautiful in the sun.
It did. My review of the Gold Coast was it looked amazing, the beaches and everything. It looked so nice, but when you were actually in the Surfers Paradise bit, like in amongst the buildings and stuff, it's actually pretty I didn't really like it that much. One of the worst places I've seen in Australia, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon a lot of people do move to the Gold Coast and live there, but I reckon they like it so much because they live in suburbs out of Surfers Paradise and stuff like that. Yeah,
the actual Surfers Paradise bit wasn't that great, to be honest, but I can imagine
it's a bit of a party place.
Yeah, further up the coast and stuff.
If anyone's ever been to Benidorm in Europe, then it reminded me of Benidorm in Australia.
Not the best. I was hoping for more.
Yeah, but I guess I don't know, we were there for 3 days, we didn't really do loads of cool activities. Would have liked to do we'll get on to what you can do there anyway, and then I'll share what I would do. The top attractions you can do on the Gold Coast. Oh my god.
Is that thunder?
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, anyway, obviously the Gold Coast is really known for its theme parks, which I never actually got to do, which I'm really sad about. So there's the Warner Bros movie theme park, which obviously I'd want to go because of being a Harry Potter fan. That's got mixed reviews. And then there's also SeaWorld, that if you ever used to watch H2O Just Said Water, they used to film clips there, which always made me wanted to go there. And there was also Dreamworld. So yeah, quite a few theme parks there. Because I'm a big kid and kind of like theme parks, I would have wanted to go. So good for families, I think.
I don't like roller coasters.
Okay,
to be honest. So the next one is the Sky Point Tower. This is actually the tallest building in Australia.
And I went up it.
It looks sick. The highest viewing platform in Australia, and you get to look out over the whole Gold Coast, over the sea.
We'll insert some pictures. So basically the tactic was, we went there in daylight, we stayed there for sunset, and then we seen it in the dark. So we seen it at all 3 different points, which was really cool because the sunset was so good. So if you want to do that, and you can also have food and drinks up there. They have a live band playing up there sometimes, and you can obviously do the climb and stuff. I think it's a really cool thing to do, actually. So the next thing would be to explore all the different beaches they've got, because it's one whole massive coast, and each beach has its own different thing. You've got like Mermaid Beach, Broad Beach, Surfers Paradise, Burleigh Head. I did a walk from Surfers Paradise to Burleigh Head. We did a whole walk up there, and there's this like trail thing when we got to Burleigh Head, and we did that in torrential rain. I'll insert the pictures as well. So pretty much the Gold Coast is known for like thrill-seeking activities, fun activities, Hindu stag party vibes, I think.
The one bit that confused me about the Gold Coast is I was expecting like a city centre or something.
Yeah.
Like a town centre. There's literally not that. There's like the party bit with a few restaurants, and then the next street over, all it is houses.
Yeah.
And it's all by the water. It looks really cool, but I was expecting like a town centre or with some shops or whatever, but there's literally nothing.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good to run because it's just, you can't get lost. You're just running in a straight line.
Yeah, that's true. I got an electric scooter as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do there
Get
as well.
an electric scooter and you can just go like the whole way down the beach. I got sunburn.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, you fact 50 kids. Before we move on, I've got another fun fact for you. There is over 2,700 millionaires living in the Gold Coast.
There's some really nice houses there.
A few celebs. So if you want to be surrounded by rich people.
I think the Gold Coast is a good place to live if you want to be kind of close to a city like Brisbane. You don't want to live in the city, so you're down by the beach. And Brisbane's like an hour drive, I think. So, So next we're going to talk about one overrated thing about the Gold Coast, and that was Surfers Paradise. Definitely overrated.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting, but...
I was expecting more than that. I've heard the name Surfers Paradise is pretty famous. Seen it in all the pictures.
Yeah.
And then getting there, the actual beach is quite nice, but the Surfers Paradise area
was not paradising.
No, it actually wasn't. It was just a bit rough. Like, Australia, you don't associate Australia with being rough. Like, it's normally, the cities are very clean, they're very safe. Even though the Gold Coast is probably safe, it just felt a bit rough.
I've actually heard the crime's quite bad there, but isn't it everywhere? I agree with Luke, it was overrated. Maybe I would have enjoyed it more if it was sunnier and got my whole vision board to life, because the rain was not doing it justice. And
for all you lot that say, oh, you can't rate it if you only saw that place in the rain, I've seen it in the sun and it wasn't much better.
If you love to party,
yeah,
it's the place for you.
You could do a weekend there with your friends, whatever.
For me, I'd personally rather go to somewhere like Byron Bay, where it's just all chilled out vibes.
But even if you do want nightlife, I thought Brisbane nightlife was even better than that.
Do you know what I didn't like as well? I didn't like all the buildings. It made me feel really like not being able to breathe properly. There's a lot of building work going on.
But we're in the city now though, surely that's worse.
No, I don't know, there was something about it that just felt really like not refreshing.
To be fair, it's not really like, in the cities you get like a bit of culture and a bit of history and whatever, but there it's all modern, all buildings, like there's no, do you know what I mean?
There's no like proper...
There's no nice feel to it.
That's just our opinions. When to visit? It depends. If you want heat, pure heat, then obviously go in summer, which is December to February. But if you want cold, like me, if you've got one crap weather, then I wouldn't go in July.
I went in August and it was pretty warm. Not hot, but warm.
I actually wrote down the best time to go is April to May.
So just before winter then?
Just before winter, autumn, because, come on, you're going further up north. The further up north you go, the hotter it gets anyway.
I noticed that. It's only like an hour flight from Sydney to the Gold Coast, but it was quite a bit warmer.
Beware of the school holidays, because it'll be rammed around the Gold Coast. Like anywhere, but more the Gold Coast because of all the theme parks. Especially if you're going to the theme parks, I don't think you want to be going in the school holidays, so do your research. Nah.
So where should you stay if you visit the Gold Coast? So we'll just talk about where we stayed first of all. So I stayed at Backpackers in Paradise Hostel. I remember it being a pretty nice hostel, to be honest. It had a nice outside area. It was clean and the rooms and stuff were nice, and it was pretty cheap from what I remember. It was right next to the main Surfers Paradise bit.
I stayed in Bunk, which normally I don't really like the Bunk hostels, but this one was actually fine, and it had, I think it was good because there was a group of us, we had our own room, and it's quite spacious. Like the bunk beds were very personal, you had your own space kind of thing, and we had a pool as well. That is one of the most common things you'll find the further you go up north, is you'll have more pools in your hostels, which is great.
More pools, yeah, that's true.
Because it's getting hotter. So it depends really. Obviously, you probably want to be close to the centre if you're exploring Surfers Paradise, or if you want to stay at another beach, if you want to be away from the busyness, I don't know, try Mermaid Beach or somewhere a bit further along. If you drive, it's a bonus as well, because you can just stay out in the suburbs in an Airbnb and just go to and from the main activities as you please. Because personally, if we drove, I would probably prefer that than staying in the thick of it. If you were there for longer anyway. 3 days, it's fine to stay in hostel, I reckon, but longer than a week, because you want to do the theme parks and stuff, I'd probably want to stay further out.
So how long should you stay in the Gold Coast? We recommend...
I think it depends. It depends what you want to do, if you've been there before or whatever. If it's your first time, it depends on how much you want to do, because there's a lot that you can do.
I'd probably say a week max.
Yeah, because there is plenty to do.
But then if you're just staying around Surfers Paradise, going on a few nights out, whatever, I'd say just 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days. Yeah. But if you want to do the theme parks and stuff, then I would say a good week. Because I bet there's lots of nice resorts there as well. True. So let's do a rating now. Overall, I would... It's hard, really. I'd probably... My own experience, a 6. If I went back and did it in the summer and did the theme parks and was with you, actually, for example, or my family, I think I would have enjoyed it a bit more, and it could probably progress to about an 8. Because it is good vibes if you're not staying around Surfers Paradise. Yeah. Maybe if you're staying at a different beach.
I'd give my rating a 5 from when I went. I think it has the potential to be a 7 or 8 maybe, but from my experience I can just say what I experienced, and I'd say a 5.
But obviously you've got to try it out for yourself. Everyone's different. Some people don't like theme parks, some people love to party. Just totally what you make of it and what you do. So if you have had your own personal experience in the Gold Coast, we'd love to know your situation, your story, and how you found it, and if it was relatable to us.
Stay tuned to find out the next place on the list that we both went to.
You can probably guess.
Probably guess.
Please remember to subscribe. And please leave any suggestions of video ideas that you want to see, and we'll see you in the next video.